with it. What is the #1 prio here? Does Lucian make it through on red side 400 Thieves? Are they going to ban it away?
Azir, Silas, Lucian, Trundle, Poppy, everything is available here. They opt to continue to ban out the Lucian as the prio. Too many options for Jojo to whittle down on mid lane.
100 Thieves fans have got to be happy about that. There's been a big difference between Kaori on Lucian and Kaori on these more scaling picks. You love to see him take it away, and first pick of the final draft of the series is Poppy for Inspire.
And that's why I'm so interested. Does EG have another look here? Will they just go back to the Sivir Zeri trade, or are they willing to do something a little bit more surprising, go a bit more aggressive? We know that he can play a lot of these early game picks. There's other in the pool. You know, Kalissa's banned out, Lucian's banned out, but there's still things like Draven potentially.
Still in the pool. 100 Thieves though, no surprise, because jumping on the Zeri, this is the more highly prized of the Zeri Sivir trade with these two AD carries, and then you don't have to pick up the Yuumi quite yet. Trundle, before it gets banned out this time, for closer, so you can match up with the Poppy.
Alrighty, what does EG want to pick to go along with that Poppy? They can steal the Yuumi away from the Zeri if they want. Sivir, Zeri, the trade of AD carries, it's been done so often throughout playoffs, so often throughout the world, no surprises there. Do they want Jojo back on this Azir?
I think since they banned out the Talia, they should. And say, fine, Abbeddage, you have to play the Silas. You have to show me that you can actually outperform us as a team with this champion.
Or perhaps not. The Lulu locked in instead, showing that Evil Geniuses is prioritizing that Lulu over the Yuumi.
Yeah, they absolutely. In game 2, they did the exact same thing. They actually forgo the Yuumi. They take the Lulu instead. This time around, will it be an Azir early pick here, or are they going to go towards that Yuumi? So they are going towards the Azir again, having that higher on the priority list. Silas going to be banned out, pretty much guaranteed. Then, do they ban out the Akali as well, is my big question.
And with this, they're also saying, yeah, it's fine. Huhi can just play engage supports. We don't need one of these enchanters. We don't have to buffer up. Fine with just getting more engaged. And Huhi and Closer were the big ones. This time around, it's not going to come from the Trundle here. So let's see. Silas gone already. Have to ban out and protect this Azir.
This is interesting. So they ban out the Amumu, but Alistar's also a great engage answer into Sivir. So are you going to ban that out and actually double ban support while leaving Yuumi open? It feels a little bit hard.
If they double ban the engage, supports, then the Yuumi, they'll be happy to go with the Yuumi anyways and just pick that one up for Huhi as well. So I have to think that this will also be the Yuumi ban to follow up the Amumu.
That's my assumption, but Alistar then feels like an easy pick for Huhi. It fits his playstyle. And you also look towards mid lane. Both those counters that we have seen into the Azir already banned out. So what else does Jojo have in his bag of tricks?
I really like that they banned out both the Silas and the Akali. We saw how many problems both of these picks caused. Even though the Akali game was still a win for 100 Thieves, they got to get rid of it. Yuumi's banned out. Alistar is up. It's 100 Thieves pick.
So I do think there is the possibility of looking towards the Yone. You know, we have seen it once from Jojo this year, so that is an option. Alistar feels like the obvious pick, but it's Soraka. We saw this in the LEC finals earlier today. I do think Soraka is really underrated here. The ultimate so powerful for answering, and especially if you want to play towards top lane counter pick and actually play towards the side lane, that can make the difference in all these 1v1s.
All right, Evil Geniuses, what is it going to be? Got a blind pick for Impact here. They already hovered over the Gangplank. Lots of success last time around with that one. The Ahri still such a very viable counter into the Azir. One of the actually overlooked ones now that so much focus has been put on those melee champions. Jojo will go right back to it.
I'm so interested to now see, is it going to be a blind GP, right? Are we going to return to that type of a pick? Because I don't think Huhi will just walk a tank into it again. I think Huhi is going to take a more aggressive pick, especially when you have Soraka. I do think aggressive melee matchups into GP can be very effective.
But 100 Thieves have to get engaged on their team. They have no hard engage, so they still have to go into that same matchup here, get some sort of engage, some sort of CC on their team. And there's a reason EG were hovering that Gangplank. They're like, great, we will farm this one straight to the bank for Impact.
The Gwen! For the first time this series, Ssumday's ready for a carry battle.
This does mean you have no guaranteed force for your team fight. It is so much just slows.
Really interesting here already. Abbeddage, going very heavily for the laning rune setup. He is going to be playing both Ahri and Scorch, so really trying to kind of maximize early game power here against Jojo, who is much more utility-based in his rune page, going Spellbook, going Resolve secondary.
And we're seeing how important this bottom lane is with the early indexing into level 1s. EG push through bottom lane. They don't catch the sweeper on their push, and so 100 Thieves, after EG have vacated the area, they drop the extra ward in the side brush and the control ward here to watch for these ganks. This is something they've done over and over again. Invest this money, this extra control ward down here.
And I'm curious if we're going to get any crazy, wild, surprise type of plays here in the Game 5 to just try to catch each other off guard, or if it'll be that slow and steady type of approach. You know that this is the most pressure either one of these teams have been under for the whole split.
It's going to be a really exciting one, and these early moments can mean a lot in this kind of fight. You've got to be really careful about these Soraka Qs. You win out in the trade so heavily because it's not just the damage that Soraka's putting out, it's the healing that she actually gains every time she lands a Q. Winning lane against Soraka requires you to dodge those constantly.
And that's why I like the movement from Vulcan and Kaori here, Kaori, as they move together to bait out the Soraka Q, trying to get a juicy 2 hit on that one, and they don't get either of them.
All right, everybody just trading back and forth a little bit here. Let's look at where junglers are starting. Bottom side for both. So we're going to see them pathing up towards that top half of the map. I expect some attention towards this top lane when it's carry versus carry.
And I think that's really going to call a lot of attention up there, especially post-Spix when Gwen has that potential to look for those all-ins. This is going to get really, really scary. For Impact, he is going Grasp as expected. You kind of need that early game power. Can't go first strike. It's too greedy in this type of matchup.
Meanwhile, we are going to have Closer pathing up towards the top side of the map. Poppy finishing up on red buff first, and Ssumday will be able to have that protection here. So everybody playing accordingly, cautiously, tracking those jungle as they go through their full clears.
Meanwhile, Jojo on the back foot here in mid lane early on. Abbeddage controlling that lane, controlling that 1v1. Closer will walk over just the very last couple of seconds of that ward.
But Impact has done such a good job with his wave. He's trimmed it just enough so it's not actually crashing. You know how the wave is actually building outside his tower there? You basically are ungankable from this position, so it's a really, really good spot for him to be in. Inspired, though, moving up here, and I think 100 Thieves should have a good idea that he's in the area, given that they saw those camps are still alive.
It's really smart stuff from Closer, trying to play off your pushing lane here. Trundle wins the 1v1 versus Poppy early on. That is why it's such a prolific pick into this matchup here. With the press, the attack, your dueling power is incredible, and so he just bullies in off his pushing lane. He even calls Ssumday down to go invade that blue buff. They secure the top Scuttle Crab for that counter pick top lane, the extra safety, the vision, and get the counter jungle off.
This bot lane is becoming a problem, though. Look at Kaori. He's down so low in the bottom left of your screen. Already down over a full wave here. They're getting relentlessly pushed in. Huhi has been on point, landing a lot of these Qs, and that is just giving them such a massive health advantage.
Yeah, and when we're talking about health, it's one of the differences when you're comparing Soraka to other enchanters. She's all about healing. She's just this battery of health compared to shields, which are a much more temporary function, right? Lulu can protect you, but it's got to be timed right. Soraka, heal, 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 keep you topped off, keeping everything feeling good as long as you're landing those stars like you were talking about.
And it's also really interesting to notice that he is actually going very heavily for the laning setup. 2 points Q, 1 point E. Sometimes Sorakas will actually not even put a point in W until level 7. I don't expect that for pro play, but you can very heavily go in towards your laning.
This is critical timing here for the jungle slip-in from Trundle. Closer has gotten into this side brush, looking for the lane gank as the wave is pushing away from Impact. We'll see if they're able to bait him in.
Well, Impact is going to get caught by the pillar, but he keeps on walking it off. They shouldn't be able to threaten a summoner spell here. No, Impact barely taking any damage from that one.
But it's very awkward. The wave is pushing away from him, and he knows his jungler, was just on the bottom side of the map. So he's got to play this out very, very slowly. Play respectful to the fact that Closer could still be hanging around here. Was calm, patient play, though, from Impact to not blow his flash. And as a result, he should be able to kind of slowly walk this in, but will be giving up a lot of farm, and you're going to see that building up here as Ssumday collects this wave.
And I like the confidence from him, from Impact here. He's like, you're not going to waste that much time up here with me. He gets right back to pushing here, and is able to get it in, crashes the wave. Closer had to go for that reset back down to the other side of the map. And they snuck a control ward in on Dragon after revealing jungle topside.
Exactly. So Impact gets that shoved up. He's back in base. He gets to go back with his purchase, get that sheen. That's what Gangplank loves to see on first buy. And now he'll use his TP to get back into the top side. Yes, he's down a bit of farm, but he's got a lot of lane power now.
I'm also interested to see how early Kaori actually picks up an Executioner's Calling, you know, assuming he's going to be doing that, because you have Trundle, you have Huhi on the Soraka, you're going to have a shield blow first item from FBI, you have a lot of sustain as well from Ssumday, who already has a Leeching Leer. He's going to be going towards Riftmaker. Anti-heal is paramount in this matchup.
And Sivir is so good at applying it. With physical damage bouncing around in AoE so effectively, it's actually a very cheap pickup. Whereas if you went with the support item, the Putrefier, it would actually take a very long time to get it.
Okay, we have a potential roam coming out from EG. Jojo's gonna walk his way up towards top side. Inspired also looking for a lane gank angle, but he was right on top of a ward. 100 Thieves knows where he's at.
And you're getting payment for that vision. Investing in vision gets you awards on the bottom side of the map. Dragon started up. That one will be taken easily by Closer. Trundle, one of the best champions at just soloing these. Even get some support from Huhi walking up.
It looked like the idea there is, yeah, have Impact shove it up. Ssumday might hit 6, go for the Ghost all in play, counter him with Inspired, but 100 Thieves just, no, they're ready to play it cool, go for the objective. Nice early Drake, 7 minutes in, no contest.
It's critical to get the Dragon off the map. During this time period, Gangplank just hit level 6. So you know they're looking for that cross-map play again with Impact.
And it's so important as well that 100 Thieves have a lane to actually play around, because we've seen in the games that go bad for them, they are losing all of these lanes very heavily. But the bot lane here, FBI and Huhi, have been very, very strong on the 2v2 thus far. That gives you the pressure, that gives Closer the easy in to take that first Dragon.
Alrighty, boys. Alrighty. Still no kills on the map. Again, a little bit slower pace than some of the other games we've seen with some very early action. But this time around, again, for Game 5, everybody wants to play it a little closer to the vest.
Absolutely, and we've seen all these games get out of control so fast off of early advantages. All 4 games, once a team gets ahead, they start to run away with it. No one wants to be the one to make that mistake, to make that bad call here in game number 5.
Plus, as we pointed out in Champion Select, there's so much less playmaking ability on both squads here as far as coming up with those, hard CCs to pick people off. It has to come. Maybe you're looking at Jojo with this Ahri, post level 6, has the flash, has the dash ability, looking to try and pick off something like a Soraka moving around.
It feels to me like it's probably going to create a situation where every fight almost has to be around objectives. It has to favor one team for setting up early, and 100 Thieves are setting up for the Herald.
And it means, exactly, whoever gets there first is going to have such a massive advantage in the vision checking through.
But I like 100 Thieves. They went through mid, they got Closer level 6 with the minion XP, and now they're rushing it down.
They're going for it, but it's stolen away. Inspired! He gets the smite, but can he pick up the eye? Ssumday's ready to fight back against Impact as Jojo tries to get out, but now they found Ssumday instead. He's gonna try to walk away. Impact's at 200 HP. Ssumday 100. He will not die. No one will die, but the Herald goes to EG.
Jojo gets greedy. He tries to get both the kills instead of taking the guaranteed charm onto Ssumday, but then they can't finish him off through the Soraka healing.
Exactly. The ambulance is there. Huhi comes. He heals up Ssumday. They escape with their lives. Still, though, the flash smite steal from Inspired just as it gets to 900. Look at this HP. 920, 856. Boom. He's in there. Smite, flash, steal.
And then it's about this fight on the top side. They collapse over onto Ssumday as they actually get the rejection out. Jojo, though, he says, we can get both. They think that Ssumday's dead, so he lands the charm onto Azir to try to set up the second kill, but then all of a sudden, flashed in there from Huhi, drops the summoner heal, drops the W heal as well, and keeps his top laner alive.
Yep, they get Ssumday out alive, and of course, no eyeball was picked up on that Rift Herald.
Yes,
so
it was. Yes, it was.
Oh, he went back afterwards.
Kaori got it.
He circled back in and picked it up before it expired. Evil Geniuses pulling off the heist of their own.
But look at the farm disadvantage in bot lane. Kaori moved away from what was a pushing lane, I believe, on bot side. They were already down. Now he's down a massive amount here. 65 farm only at 10 minutes is really, really low for pro play.
Both junglers up in the top side again, just shadowing, seeing if anything's gonna happen. They're making sure they crash that wave for 100 Thieves. But the Rift Herald being on the AD carry does make a situation where it's much more easy to predict when that is going to be used.
Absolutely, and it will hopefully for the EG side really kind of close that gap between these two marksmen, because that could be solo plate gold if they can get the push. The problem is, how do they get the push? Because they've been losing this 2v2 constantly all game long.
Right.
Inspired here on the Poppy. Could be that difference maker coming down, trying to open up some space for them to actually use that Rift Herald. Again, they can clear out these minion waves, no problem, but looking at either the Poppy or the Ahri here for EG to open up that space. Meanwhile, 100 Thieves actually feeling quite good about their position.
And one thing I want to mention about 100 Thieves, about this build, particularly for closer, Bomby Cinder on the Trundle. A lot of times we are seeing these Divine Sunderer then into tank Trundles. This is a full tank approach from closer. He recognizes everybody else's damage. They need a meatball.
And you can shore up some of the lack of engage with a chem tank. If you get that extra move speed, charge in with the Trundle pillar, create some openings for your team.
Absolutely.
Oh, Frostfire slow.
Yeah, going in for the Crossfire. It'll be interesting to see when he starts actually going for Pillar Max, if that's going to be an important part of it. Also has really nice synergy with the Zeri because you can get the Empowered W in to really kind of poke away and harass at your opponents. But it feels like Impact is in his comfort zone up here on that top side, working towards Triforce's first item. And up in farm in this matchup, going to be feeling really good about his position. Also note the Swifty boots on both the Poppy and the Gangplank, because slows are really all 100 Thieves have to lock you down.
Right.
Gwen ulti, slow. The Trundle pillar is a slow. The Soraka, Q is also a slow. It's all these abilities, so Swifty boots are going to be so good this game.
I love the adaptations. I love building around what the game asks for. But right now, we got to look at the bottom left part of the screen, because it's 100 Thieves who got that first Drake no contest. Now they're going to get the second one the same. But Kaori is topside with the Rift Herald for EG to strike back.
Exactly. EG know this. They're the ones who made the early move. They're willingly sacrificing this dragon to further feed the Sivir. Their Sivir is their win condition. Funnel as much money as you possibly can onto this champion. And you see everyone from EG a move away from the tower. Vulcan still sharing in the turret plates though.
And on the bot side, Impact actually ulted the bot wave. So FBI can't actually trade back that much on the tower. He's got to wait for the next wave there. They're going to get the charge on the second tower and the interrupt on the TP.
Beautifully done there from Jojo to give EG the tempo they need for a second turret in top lane.
Exactly. Every second counts here, and they're going to be able to get 2 towers before the Zeri even finishes up on bottom.
Won't even be able to finish it. They're going to need at least another wave. That GP ulti was just really game-changing there, clearing out that bot side.
You never want to race the Rift Herald. It's so good at winning these things, at demolishing these turrets, especially when plates are still in the equation.
I will say though, 100 Thieves feel pretty good about getting 2 dragons stacking here. Again, with the way these two teams are set up, whoever's at the objective first and can force the other team to walk towards them gets a pretty big advantage. So 100 Thieves already having that threat of the dragon stacking.
And we're kind of set up in this situation where EG's top jungle are really, really rich. That's their gold advantage. But on the other side, FBI is monster farm. He got solo gold on those plates. He's up in farm. So he is really going to be the big threat for 100 Thieves. It's kind of all eggs in the FBI basket here, and we'll see how well he's going to be able to perform in these team fights, as Kaori should be able to grab a plate off this before that goes down, but feeling a little bit scared.
And one thing I also want to look at here, it's another Crown of the Shattered Queen, this time for Abeddage on the Azir, recognizing I got to survive the burst. I got to make sure I don't just get exploded instantly in these fights.
And it is worth noting that it's Lulu who's actually picking up the heal cut. It is Chemtech Putrefier. I do think it's effective, but I still really do favor heal cut on the Sivir because of the easy application through that ricochet.
As far as itemization too, still haven't seen a lot of indexing into the magic resistance, which will be very, very efficient for evil geniuses. The 100 Thieves AP carries already have to start thinking about what is going to be built by their opponents.
Absolutely, but I am expecting that more as a second item thing. I do think GP could go in for a Hex Shrinker second. I think you can see even Banshee second on Jojo if they want to try to answer that. And it is going to be very, very efficient.
Plus, you see a Ruby Crystal uninspired. I expect that to be Force of Nature or something similar, like some big MR item to make sure you can survive on that front line. Bottom lane tier 1 turret, finally going to go down. They can't save it any longer. Money going over to FBI on that one as EG goes for the second Herald.
Yeah, or Grift Heralds for EG means more pushing power, open up this match, try and snowball the gold lead here before 100 Thieves get that extra pressure on Dragons.
And it's really interesting, you can see Closer purchasing the stopwatch here. He didn't have it from Runes. I think he knows EG are going to challenge at that third dragon. If 100 Thieves get the third dragon, if they win that fight, the game is very heavily in their control because that would be a march towards an early Ocean Soul with Soraka on your team, which is going to be really, really difficult to deal with. So these teams are going to try to get as powerful as they possibly can for this next big fight.
Yeah, and the key there is to replace all this vision around Dragon before it expires. You keep up this very deep ward line because that makes it way safer for you to move in, again, 1 minute before the Dragon, replace those, and set up properly.
Alrighty, my friends, 2 minutes until that third Drake spawns. Abeddage versus Jojo here in the bottom lane. Impact versus Ssumday up in the top side. Trinity Force versus Riftmaker. Again, Gwen normally likes to hit 2 items before she really feels confident in that side lane and trying to take over things.
And I think we're going to see EG, back a little bit early here and try to reestablish jungle vision control because they have very little in this whole area. It's all enemy wards down on that bottom side. Vulcan now moving in here with the Ahri down in that bot lane around him, but they've got to sweep out these wards, they've got to push out mid lane, they've got to get ready for this next dragon. They have a minute to do it, so they've got the time, but it's got to start now.
And you can see the inventories filling up with control wards on the 100 Thieves side. Also worth pointing out the stopwatches for the 2 frontliners on this team. They know this next Drake is going to be a fight. They know that these one-use items could swing the entire game and the entire series in their favor. I expect similar purchases if the gold is available for EG.
Gold star here to Inspired. Gets the Negatron cloak built up before this fight. So critical for the front line. More magic resistance goes such a long way here. He's really looking forward to this one. Closer should have his eyes on that Poppy as far as the Trundle ultimate.
Yeah.
Quickly sap it away so that your carries can actually work through the front line.
20 seconds to go on the Drake. 100 Thieves with control over the pit, over the river, but EG marching forward. Vulcan with the sweeper, just making sure there's no more vision lingering here in this jungle.
And Kaori has first push on mid, and a big chunk on FBI does mean a lot. There is Honey Fruit there, though. They're going to drop Herald mid, try to draw a response from 100 Thieves here, and then use that to bully their way into the river.
Meanwhile, you keep your split push going there. Ssumday on the Gwen, trying to work up to the tower.
All right, the tower being dealt with by the Herald. EG moving down into the Drake pit. It's Abeddage's job to deal with the Herald, get that out of the way. EG, they have forced 100 Thieves back for now.
And 100 Thieves, they're just trying to buy time for the split push. Ssumday up there, the Gwen, chop, chop, chop. Tower getting worked down.
Now it's important to remember there is that control ward from 100 Thieves in the back part of the pit. Turret is gone now. EG are starting up the Drake. They've got the aggro. Charm lands on Abeddage, and now they're ready to try to go. Impact eats a little bit of damage. Auto attacks flying out from FBI. The Drake is half HP. 100 Thieves have control over the pit, and Ssumday could teleport into the fight. There's the TP onto the control ward. Gangplank ulti lands. Jojo misses Charm. Drake's at 2,000. Jojo goes in. Jojo looks for Huhi, but he won't be able to find him. 100 Thieves, they try to fight back, but Ssumday is ejected. Abeddage with a massive swoop. It's 2 for 1, 3 for 1, 4 for 1. 100 Thieves destroy evil geniuses.
That's gonna be a full ace for 100 Thieves, and the Dragon Soul Point coming up.
100 Thieves bought so much time for Ssumday there. He pushes it out, he kills the tower, gets to go back to base and buy before even having to TP in, and he pays them off big time there with the triple kill.
An Emperor leads from the front, and Abeddage found the angle.
My goodness, with game 5, all the pressure on, coming down to this dragon fight. And look at the stages here. First, the charm onto Azir here, prompts a flash forward from Lulu, EG. They then get out the Zeri ultimate, and they try and kite backwards, wait for it to expire.
But the biggest thing there was Vulcan flashed in, the silencing field from Huhi denied the polymorph to come through. So he flashed in, he silenced up, and they can't CC chain Abeddage. That changed the whole game.
Look at this health on the jungles as they then battle over the dragon. Huhi flashes away from Jojo. The Ahri has to escape, and the Poppy ultimate only ejects the Gwen. Closer then, low health on Trundle, kites back in, smites up the dragon. Abbeddage with the giant Azir sweep gets them all.
And then look at Ssumday coming back in on the wraparound here, jumped over the pit. They wiped them off the map, but man, that silence from Huhi absolutely changed the game. You talk about that Azir sweep. If he gets polymorphed up and burst down there, that never happens. Maybe this is an EG teamfight win. Those little differences there change everything, and Huhi came up huge.
It is the smallest differences that can mean the biggest wins in League of Legends. Both AD carries doing so much damage, both top laners right behind them, and 100 Thieves are keeping the aggro on.
The Soraka pick doing so much. The silence as well, though, kiting back, heal flashing, so the Ahri, Jojo, full commits into the team, can't get anything, and that gave the Azir the opening there too. Keeps everyone alive, huge, huge stuff.
And at the start of this game, I said, I wonder if they're gonna go for any surprise plays, catch them off guard. Soraka itself catches them off guard. If you're not used to playing against this incredible amount of healing, if you're not used to playing against a rare mechanic like silence, it can totally trip you up.
Absolutely, and when you talk about the burst healing, when you're below 40%, you get the amp on the ulti, you drop the ulti, you drop the summoner heal, you drop the W all at once. You can do about 1,000 healing out of nowhere, and you really have to keep that calculated in when you're looking for these kills. When you think you see an angle, you got to take the Soraka into account.
And it's two teams that don't have a lot of hard CC to lock it down. So they were scrambling there to try and get that pick, and as the Ahri goes all the way in, they can't finish it. So much wrapped up in that last team fight. This series all coming to this big boiling point, and now 100 Thieves standing tall.
Huge, huge swing for 100 Thieves to put themselves in control in game number 5. It is now sub 2 minutes until we get to that soul itself.
Absolutely, and something we haven't talked about is the fallout for the side lane, because it's going to become much harder now for Impact in that side lane here against Ssumday, who got this massive injection of gold. Impact was doing well in the 1v1, but you give 3 kills over to that Gwen, who is playing Ghost, who's going to succeed in these long extended lanes, and Impact has to be careful.
And I like the fact that Ssumday went for the Zhonya's. This is more of a team fighting item. They recognize the fights are going to be around these objectives. If you want to win the 1v1, you can go for a Nashor's, go for a Cosmic Drive, but Ssumday's ready for those big plays.
100 Thieves are very happy, and now they just want to be able to use this lead at the next dragon. So they're thinking, great, 5v5s, we want this game calm until this next dragon. EG, they're the ones looking for, how do we open up a pick? How can we sneak this Ahri into some fog of war? How can we upset 100 Thieves before the advent of this next dragon? It's only a minute away. They're creeping around in the jungle, trying to find an opening.
And it's going to be tough to find those openings because they're so far down in gold that item completions are really showing through. There's no way that Kaori's going to get towards an IE before that. Jojo's still working on a second item here. You can see Impact is kind of their big hope, who has a huge injection of gold in him, and he's going to have to come up big time in this fight for them to be able to win.
35 seconds until the Drake spawns. Ocean Soul, if 100 Thieves get it, EG positioning around the bottom side river. Abbeddage currently recalling, does have the empowered teleport to be able to join the fight however, whenever, wherever.
You can tell how important this early positioning is for EG. They call Impact over, he drops a whole wave.
All right, we're ready to go. Jojo's getting jumped on. Rest 100 Thieves filing in, but they gotta be careful. Closer's gonna lose a lot of HP. Gangplank ulti's cutting him down. Huhi's got 200. 100 Thieves fall back. EG, huge win there.
I said Impact had to come up huge, and he did. That massive barrel into ulti sends Huhi packing. He's got to go back to base. That wins them the dragon by itself.
He drops that top wave to get here in time. Timing so critical, and he pays off for it. It was so worth it. They get the dragon. They stop 100 Thieves for now.
100 Thieves still trying to find. FBI gets stopped. He gets away. Okay, nice attempt there, but not quite able to secure the kill on the 100 Thieves AD carry, and now 100 Thieves are marching to Baron.
Those are 2 critical summoner spells, down for FBI, down for 100 Thieves. They scryers.
Okay.
They teleport, they're coming.
Alrighty, it's 100 Thieves on the Baron. Baron at half HP. Huhi has no ultimate on the Soraka. He's gonna be ejected. Baron's at 2K. Inspired to the pit. It's secured by 100 Thieves. Inspired is down. Vulcan's on the run. 100 Thieves are on the hunt. And Impact is all alone. He goes after Soraka, but again, he is silent. And again, the Thieves win the fight.
Impact is silence, and the EG fans are they're silenced as well as 100 Thieves take the Baron, take a 4,000 gold lead here, and look to push forward to secure this game.
Closer looking for a pillar here. Jojo slowed down, still has the ulti. Shouldn't be in any mortal danger. Kaori forced back. 100 Thieves, they don't have the mana to continue this for now. They're gonna have to recall, regroup, reset, and get ready for a big push.
Oh, the faces of the coaching staff for the 100 Thieves there said it all. The timing window jumped on by 100 Thieves. The in-game shot calling, moving right over to that Baron, not allowing the full reset for EG.
Absolutely, just pressuring them so heavily, and EG is so ultimate reliant. They're missing all these ultis, but even that being said, Inspired gets into the pit. How nervous are you here as closer? The tackle over the wall there gets into the pit, can't actually finish it off. It's secured by the Zeri.
The Zeri ulti timed together with the smites, and then it's all cleanup duty from there.
My goodness, Impact is going to be able to get one back. At least we killed the Soraka. Boo! Last shot, but that's going to be all that you get. 100 Thieves with the Baron are so happy with this.
And just look at the reactions there from Huhi and FBI. They know how much that fight meant for their championship hopes.
All right, so let's assess the situation here on the Rift. 4,500 gold lead for the Thieves. Baron for another 70 seconds. It will not last until the Drake spawns, so they won't be able to fully secure control over the pit for the Soul, but they should be able to knock down some of these remaining turrets and build the lead.
Absolutely, and Inspired's trying to threaten a flank here. They're trying to threaten the push, the wraparound here, but it's being marked on both sides, and EG have no deep vision.
Yeah, 100 Thieves, it's 4-1 split push. Oldest play in the book. Keep that pressure with the Baron-empowered minions, and slowly but surely, you get those towers.
Closer going in for a chomp onto Jojo, takes about half his HP.
And they're trying to force Jojo to use his ulti there. He's very patient, he holds on to it, does back it up, but he's low on health. It's up to Kaori now, who's getting chunked down to try to clear this up.
And this is one of the problems with Sivir into Azir. He can stab you with those soldiers when you have to step up. Sivir's got low range for a marksman, and 100 Thieves continue applying the pressure. Baron only available for 15 more seconds. This is the last wave they're gonna get.
Yep, they keep the siege up here, 400 Thieves, but don't want to take any risks before the Dragon Soul fight again.
Right.
No big cooldowns blown, nobody overextend.
2 seconds left on the Baron buff. 100 Thieves backing away. Now continuing to apply pressure. Mid lane wave colliding as bot lane wave dies. 100 Thieves Baron push is done.
EG do hold the base, but now the greater challenge becomes the Soul. And you look at this bottom jungle, you look at the vision, there's nothing there. There's one load ward right there is all they have out on the map on this side of the map. They're gonna have to be able to push out through mid and somehow, some way, find their way in through the Azir, through the Trundle pillars, through the silencing fields, without any eyes on Ssumday to get to the Dragon.
It's moments like these where you have to rise up above all the pressure. Every single odd is against you right now. Can they make the big play? Impact pushing out on top side. Does not have teleport. So again, it's gonna have to walk early if he wants to get there. Ssumday does have teleport.
It's time for Impact to take that long walk down there. Looks like he's not gonna have time for a recall, just starting to walk instead. Closer goes in for the pillar. Jojo almost would have to ult, you would think. Abbeddage with the stasis, staying alive for now. Gets himself away with a flash. Impact ulti doing some damage, but Inspired soaking a lot. TP's about to show up. Ssumday ain't here yet. 100 Thieves severely damaged on jungle and support.
But it's 100 Thieves with a Soraka, and he can get the honey fruit and continue healing them back up. So they're gonna go right back to full on all their carries, and EG is low and without ultis.
Yeah, and Inspired does not have flash. That Poppy's gonna have to walk all the way around.
Inspired with half HP. He was the most injured player on EG. There's the charm. There's the potential kill to Abbeddage, but he gets himself away. They're still trying to take the fight, but Impact is about to die. FBI gets him. They lose Jojo. Evil geniuses are collapsing, and Inspired will not steal the objective. Kaori tries to run, but he's running away alone.
100 Thieves will get it all! The Dragon Soul is theirs, and they can push straight for the Evil Genius's base.
They're marching down mid lane. They can smell the wind. They're getting so close here after that massive fight.
No thief was left behind, and they've got 5 strong on the map looking to come finish it.
They're going for it. The TP is here. 100 Thieves. They got 10 seconds until EG is back alive. 2v5. The geniuses are falling, and 100 Thieves are the ones to fell them. They try to defend. Jojo's running away. It's only 2 left again. They try to deny a little bit longer, but they will not get it. They're stuck back in the fountain. Vengeance is mine, saith the Thieves, and they're going to the finals.
In a back-and-forth series, when it mattered most, it's 100 Thieves coming out on top. The surprise Soraka pick here in game number 5, making such a massive difference in these incredibly close back-and-forth fights.
Going the full distance. Look at the celebration there. The Thieves, they said after that spring finals, they couldn't wait to get revenge. And they get it here in Chicago.
And they're gonna have their opportunity in front of a packed house tomorrow to try to claim the LCS championship, to do what they were denied 1 year ago.
What an incredible battle between these two teams. The rematch of the spring finals. It goes the distance with incredibly convincing victories on both sides throughout the series. But it's 100 Thieves who outfight them, who outplay them, and who take the win here today.
And they will take their spot in their 3rd final in a row. What a streak they have built with this squad.
It's been incredible, and I've got to give a lot of credit to Ssumday as well. Both his carry games, the Fiora as well as the Gwen, were massive for this team, finding so many angles. Even in this final fight around the Dragon, he's fighting off 3 members by himself, pushing EG out, so there's not enough damage to come through and follow up when they land that CC on Abbeddage. And the team just working so well as a cohesive unit.
So much massive, massive stuff here from the Huhi in this series. The Amumu pick with the Enchanter's Band against him. The Soraka pick in game number 5. The 100 Thieves pulled out everything here to take down evil geniuses. And a well-deserved victory.
What a showing from 100 Thieves, earning their spot tomorrow, showing everybody what they're made of here in Chicago, here in the huge arena, here on the big stage.
But their job is not done. Revenge against EG secured. Revenge against Cloud9, that is step number 2. Cloud9 knocked them to the lower bracket. It was not a 5-game series. It was one of the few 3-1s. Cloud9 looking dominant in that one. And now 100 Thieves will have to build towards that matchup tomorrow to try to take down Cloud9, who has looked unstoppable in the last couple weeks.
It's gonna be a fast turnaround to get ready for that matchup tomorrow, but they showed tenacity here today. They showed the ability to bounce back even after rough losses, and they showed us that they are a serious threat in a best of 5.
And I want to take a moment for evil geniuses as well. Really big performances from Jojo and Kaori, stepping up when the team needed him, unforeseen circumstances, comes onto the big stage, has some massive performances for them.
Absolutely. I mean, to be able to have that sub come in last moment here and push 100 Thieves to that 5th game, I do think really speaks a lot to the tenacity and the skill of EG. And I'm going to be proud to watch them represent our region at Worlds.
And they're going to be representing us in the play-ins. Getting 3rd place means you got to battle through that extra layer. And for a young squad like EG, I'm kind of excited for that. I think that they'll do better getting some reps in earlier on. I think they're going to need to get a few more of them battles in them to really be ready to go. And I'm excited to see what they're going to bring to the table once we get there. But for now, we're joining the Tigers and 100 Thieves mid and jungle